when I am talking about women's issues they face, and someone goes like, "What about the men? What about the men?" I am talking about a woman's rape and abuse and violence against her, and you're asking me what about the men? If I go to a man's post and he's talking about violence against men, that happens from either women or men themselves, and I go to his comment section and be like, what about the women men have killed? What about the 90% statistic where it proves that men are most likely to be the killer, when men are most likely to abuse women? You see, it doesn't really sound fun. It is genuinely not fun because it's screaming you are an insensitive prick that can't let others discuss about the issues they are talking about. Because, why am I talking about boys' video, talking about how women are more likely to be the victims, and some dumbasses are coming to be like, oh, what about the men? Yes, it happens to men too in these cases, but I am saying that 90% of the time, the victims are women. And you cannot ignore that statistical fact. If you want, I'm going to be posting the statistical references throughout this video. 90% of rape is caused by men. 90% of child abuse is caused by men. Both on women and men, the men cause harm to both women and men. 90% of harassment is caused by men. 90% of killers are men. 90% of criminals are men. 90% of domestic abusers are men. Women are a small portion too. They are there. But the thing is that I was talking about male on women's violence. So to bring up your insensitive comments to talk about, you are not talking about the men, is very ridiculous. When I also stated in my video, the inverse can happen. Because, let me catch my breath. Because, you guys are really putting down women for this. You are trying to say, because they don't report women's own too much. That is understandable. But do you know that most of these reported crimes, it's not even up to 50%. It's not even up to the 50% margin. So do you understand how bad it is? And I've even forgotten the percentage of rape victims who actually report their rape. It's such a small percentage, and it's so bad. And lots of them do not report their rape. They do not report their abuse they faced because they will not want, a lot of people will not take them seriously. There was even a case where women recorded their abuse. And do you know what the police did? Charged her for, I don't know what they call it when you record someone without permission. I've forgotten. That's what they charged her for. When she's showing them her abuse. Like, what is wrong with the world? I am speaking on women issues. Yes, I will dedicate time to talk about men issues as well. But you can't come to a post where someone is talking about women's issues and be so ignorant to what women face on the daily. A woman is more likely to be attacked than a man. And you see the cases where people catch someone's a random person and cut their bodies into pieces and dump them all around. 90% of those cases are done by men. So ignoring that is very evil to me. You come and see a post of someone talking about how hard it is to be in the VTubing space because you are more likely to be harassed as a female creator than a male creator. And you guys are so insensitive, very insensitive. I do not want to create that audience for myself. I do not want to create an insensitive audience that is more likely to blame the victim than blame the perpetrator. A man is more likely to be a victim of a man than be a woman being the perpetrator. And the thing too is that when it's a male or male abuse, the man is more likely to survive than even the woman. Do you get it? So your entire point of that is doing some stereotype. It is not a stereotype. It is the statistics. The proven statistics. It is not a 50-50 situation. The day women commit more the same crimes as men is before you come and bring that up. But if women do not commit the same crimes as men, you have no right to be saying that crap. No right. Women make like up to 10% or 5% of the statistics. And men make 90% of the statistics. Do you see how bad it is? A woman is more likely to help their friend who is being abused than a man willing to help their friend. It's so bad. And I hope you guys can understand this, because it's really giving I do not understand what is going on and I want to simply blame women. And I saw someone talking about false accusations can ruin women's life. Please, I'm telling you, some of it happens, but a lot of times when even a woman has proof, these men get away with it. Just this week alone, I've seen like 30 cases of a guy raping a woman. And when it's reported on the news, he's getting away with it scot-free, with probation. No jail time. How is that fair? How is that possible? And you expect me to feel pity? Like, genuinely, do you expect me to feel pity? Do you know the people who are making the most outrage about this are women? And a few men in the spaces who support women. They are the ones speaking about this. My comments. Complaining about the man versus bear thing. Are you dead ass? Are you really dead ass? Do you know why women said they would rather choose a bear than a man in the woods? Do you know? Since you are not aware of what it means, let me explain it to you. Because even in their house, they are likely to be abused by their husbands or male family member. What more of a stranger in the woods? Think about it. Think about it. A random man in the woods left with a woman. Do you know what most of the men said during this entire debate? They would rape and beat the woman to death. That's why women said they would choose a bear. Because at least the bear will not, how do I say it, destroy her dignity and would simply kill her. A man will not just kill you, he will sleep with your corpse. He will abuse you for the longest hours he can before he kills you, and also does it again with your corpse. I won't say it's all men, but statistics have proven that when a random man is left alone with a woman, this is what they do. That is why women fear for that. You can't come and blame us for being scared to be left alone with a random stranger when statistics prove that we are more likely to be attacked by a random man. We are more likely to be sexually harassed by a random man than someone. Even people get affected by people they know. So this ignorant behavior is really annoying me. I will say it again. Boa is right. Be careful of when someone of a big streamer who is a guy comes to you and trying to groom you and all that stuff. And I would say be aware of women too, because it happens too with women. But me, when I was a kid, I was online. I was more likely to come across male groomers, and I came across female groomers a few times. At first, I didn't realize it, but after time, I began to realize this pattern, and I was like, "This is fucking disgusting." And I blocked all of them because they were going too far. It's how do I say this? It's not that I do not care about men's issues. Let that sink in. What I care about is not being insensitive. I would not go to a male victim's post and talk about what was he wearing and all that crap. But men will come to a female victim's post and be saying, what was she wearing? What did she do for him to attack her? And I'm just there like, what is wrong with you? What makes you lose your humanity like this and ask such a silly question? Because most rape victims are young girls. Very young. And aren't even taken seriously when they report their abuse they have faced. And even as I mean, because it hurts me because I'm coming from an African culture where a girl can be abused and they'll blame her than blame the man who abused her. How is that fair? How is that possible? It has to stop. This case of insensitivity has to stop. Respect men's abuse posts and respect women's abuse posts. Talk about each case relating to the topic and do not come and bring another gender when we are talking about a specific topic and violence. Like, it may be a bit bad because I'm also getting ready whilst making this video. But I'm hoping my words will be listened to. Especially if you want to follow me, I genuinely wish that all my followers have this sort of humanity in them. Whereas they don't blame victims, we call out false accusations, and also when a victim is talking about their experience, we don't put them down to elevate someone else. Because how do I say? I don't know, because it's so ingrained in my culture to blame victims. I really hate this mindset where a woman is talking about issues she has faced and people are disrespecting her online and all that. Like, the reason why I say I believe Boa is right is because you imagine you're a big creator, even small creators alone get so much disrespect. So imagine a big creator with a large following. How much harassment do they face? How much doxing do they face? Like, do you get it? And their relationship situation. Where I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the VTuber drama, but every time I hear about a guy being a bad partner, it always involves some abuse. But when I'm hearing a woman being a bad partner, it involves verbal abuse and cheating. But a guy being a bad partner, it involves cheating and physical abuse. I won't say all cases, but the majority of cases I have seen. That is why I am very vocal about this topic. Because people are ignoring are more likely to be victims of other men. And that is what you must know. That is what you must be aware of. Yes, everybody's mental health matters. That is why my best solution for this is if you're in an abusive relationship, do your best to leave. Run away. Man or woman, run away. If you are in, what do you call it? I don't even know. I can't really speak for all victims on what they must do, but I would advise them to run away. I would never blame someone for choosing the wrong person. People can pretend to be someone they are not. And when you're in a relationship with them, they will switch up. I would never blame someone for that. But the people I will blame is when someone is aware of a guy's criminal history and decides to date them and ignore everyone telling them not to date them. That one, I would genuinely not defend people like that. I would genuinely do not defend people like that. So yeah, that is the end of my rant. That's the end of my rant. I hope you guys all learn something from this, that when people are speaking on different topics about men and women, let's respect the topic at hand and not try to bring other genders into it. Alright? Because it gives it a very insensitive feeling. I don't like that at all. It honestly pisses me off when I see that in other videos, other comment sections. Man talking about this, women coming saying this, or another man is saying this, or women talking about this and men bringing up a different subject entirely and deflecting. It's a very, very sickening behavior. I hope it changes. Thank you. Okay, I don't breathe when I'm talking, so it's really hard for me. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you liked the topic at hand. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. And I hope to see you next time. Check out my other videos because like the views are low key there. And also make sure to like, subscribe, and also I don't really talk about hitting that bell because I myself I don't hit my bells. And join my Discord. It's in the description. Bye.